Hi everyone, this is Dale C. Washington of Greater Works, Prophetic Ministry, and Raw. It is Monday, March 15th of 2021. I'm going to be sharing part 2 of Captured, Bow Meow. This is dream and interpretation that I received from the Lord. Yahweh is his name. I received 2 dreams. The first was February 22nd, and the following dream, or the second dream, was the following morning, Tuesday morning of February 23rd. And I shared both dreams with on this platform about a week ago. I gave the full interpretation of the first dream, and I gave some of the interpretation of the second dream. So I'm going to be sharing more of the interpretation of the second dream on today with you all. And I also, before I actually get into sharing that, I would like to make all of the viewers that visit this channel aware that some viewers' comments are not being published when you make comments on certain videos. The videos that I am doing exposure, or people are exposing information, there are some individuals who are making comments expressing knowledge and truths about some of what I'm talking about, and I am receiving notifications of your comments, and when I receive a notification, I can only see a part of your comment. When I go to the actual video where you left your comment is not there. And so some of these comments, YouTube is blocking them, or YouTube is not publishing your comments. If you are not leaving comments and then changing your mind and deleting them yourself, then YouTube is not allowing your comments to be seen on these videos where you are expressing a knowledge of what I'm talking about. Some people's comments are being published, but people who are really expressing some things that they know pertaining to what I'm exposing, some of those comments are not being published. YouTube is not putting your comments on the page. So I want you all to be aware of that. If any of you have left comments and you find that happening, please, or maybe on another video, or let me know, drop a line or another comment, but you don't have to, but for the most part, I think that I can see some of the comments that are not being published, because I am receiving the notification. I don't know if there are other comments where I'm just not getting the notification at all, and YouTube just may not be allowing certain comments. So anyway, I'm going to address more about that in another video. I just want to make you all aware that your comments are not being allowed by YouTube, some of your comments, okay? So what I am going to do, I am going to read the second dream again. But before I read the second dream, I want you all to know that I know who Willie is. Now, if anyone is watching this video, if you have not seen the previous video, if you have not seen the first video I did about Captured, Bow Meow, you won't know what I'm talking about. So I encourage you to watch the first video, and I am going to add that link in the description box, okay? So this is the thumbnail for these 2 dreams that I'm sharing and the interpretation. That's the new thumbnail. And the dream that I had, the first dream, was about me seeing a cat sitting in a pot as if he was cooking, and there were broken pieces of franks in the pot. And the water, of course, is scalding hot. And so that is how the first dream started. So I'm not going to recap all of the first dream. I will tell you that that cat represents tiger. Okay, that cat represents tiger. All right, so again, I know who Willie is, and I've known who he was since I did the first dream about a week ago when I shared that dream and interpretation. But I wanted confirmation from the Lord about exactly who Willie is. Okay, who Willie was in my dream. Now, in the first dream, I shared with you all that a man named Willie was sitting on top of something, and that turned out to be a kitchen island or a kitchen cart, which was interpreted as a golf cart, or you can just interpret that as Willie was sitting on top of an island. That meaning that along with the other people that I discussed in that first dream, Willie was also in that first dream. Willie was also a part of the plot, but you know, he's kind of secretly doing his part. He wasn't very visible, and I told you guys, well, whoever Willie is in the first message that I did. So now I'm saying I know who Willie is. So let me show you where the Lord led me for confirmation of what I perceived in my spirit, but I wanted to be sure. So this is where the Lord led me. I kind of stumbled up on this right here. Somehow, the Lord led me here to one thing, but then I stumbled across, and this is a video, okay? So this is a person's actual video that I stumbled across when the Lord first began to lead me in this direction. And this says, behind the design, celebrating Willie Smith Day. So February 23rd was Willie Smith Day. Okay. And that Willie Smith Day, I think, started in 1988. He was a fashion designer. So this past February 23rd was Willie Smith Day. That is the day that Tiger Woods was in an almost fatal car crash. Okay, the very same day. Now remember, in the first dream I shared, I was calling out the name, and I think I called out the name at the end of the dream. In the dream I was saying, Willie! Okay, so who is Willie Smith? Again, as you can see, Willie Smith he's a fashion designer. I'm going to show you some information about that. So let's go to the next picture here. So here's some information about him. This is actually stating who he was. It is telling you that it says here when he was born, 1948, and he passed away 1987. He was the United Fashion and American Culture. Let's see here. He was involved in film, art, and art design. I'm not going to read all of this. He passed away from AIDS. Okay, he was also from Philadelphia. And he passed away, I think, maybe in New York in 1988, a year after Willie Smith's death. New York City's first Black American mayor, David Dinkins, proclaimed February 23rd as Willie Smith Day. Okay, so that's information about when the mayor, David Dinkins, in 1988 proclaimed February 23rd as Willie Smith Day. So if you look this up, you'll see that he was, I don't think I have that up here. He was a designer. He was from Philadelphia. Okay, I don't know what I had in here. Again, this is telling us about what he passed away from. Okay, so yeah. So anyway, I don't know why I did not have a picture up here to show you guys that he was actually from Philadelphia. And his name is Willie Smith. Now, as you can see, I thought it was very mentionable that Willie Smith and Will Smith has the same exact DNA lettering of their name. So in some previous videos that I did, I talked about an area that the Lord has taught me and trained me in, and it's part of interpreting dreams. It's a skill set, but the Lord began to show me about the DNA letter pattern in words and names and stuff like that. So again, this guy, Willie Smith, has the same exact letter DNA as Will Smith. Not only that, they're both from Philadelphia. Okay, now, so this guy, this is him right here. So he passed away from AIDS. He was actually, it was no secret that he was a gay man. Okay, so anyway, the February 23rd was when I had the second dream. Not the first. The first dream was February 22nd. That's the dream where I called out the name Willie. When I tried to ignore that dream because I didn't understand why I was looking at a cat sitting in a slow cooker crock pot, the Lord sent me the second dream about a cat on the following day, February 23rd, the day Tiger had his accident, and the day that was proclaimed Willie Smith Day. Okay, so also I want to mention that Willie Smith Day was observed as part of Black History Month in the month of February. Okay, so now you guys can look that up, research that. This is someone's video. I did not watch the video. I was very surprised to stumble upon the video about Willie Smith Day, the black gay fashion designer from Philadelphia. I had never heard of him. So you all can go look that up if you choose to, and you don't have to. So anyway, now I'm going to, well, now we know who Willie is in the first dream I had. Now everyone should understand prophetically who God is showing you, the other person that was a part of the plot. Okay? Because it's not this Willie, because this man is no longer here. Okay? So for those of you who don't understand what God speaks prophetically, I am not saying this is the man that God was showing me in my dream. It is not. So everyone who understands the prophetic message and the prophetic nature of dreams and visions should now know who Willie is. Okay? Now, moving on. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read the second dream again. I'm going to go ahead and recap that. Now, the second dream that I had, February 23rd of 2021, the setting for this dream was in my living room. All right, the first scene of the dream, I saw a cat stretched out on the floor, kind of moving around a little bit. I immediately called out to my daughter. I called her name and I said, "This cat is hungry." There are multiple meanings to that statement. It seems as if the cat had gotten into something of mine. Next, I either tried to move the cat away from something or I tried to get something from the cat. I couldn't remember that part very clearly once I awoke. Immediately after that, I am standing inside of a room. In other words, there is now a room inside of my living room. This room appeared like some sort of enclosure inside of my living room, and it's kind of hard to explain. This room reminds me of the waiting room area at a doctor's office for non-sick people. Okay, so yeah. So anyway, yeah, that is like the room you go in when you go to the doctor if you're just going for a checkup or physical or something. You're not really sick, you just go in there for a little checkup. So that's what the room that I saw the cat in, and the room that appeared inside of my living room. It reminded me of the waiting area at a doctor's office for the people who just going there for something not serious and they're not really sick. They just need a checkup. Okay. So anyway, I'm standing in this room. I'm standing in front of the cat, and the cat is holding something in his hands, and he's eating something that looks like candy. So as I said in the previous video, if you look at the word candy, it means can die. Okay, that's what that word means. All right, so as the cat is eating something that looks like candy, he's kind of pleading with me, saying, "Can I just have these?" Or he was saying, "Can I have these? Can I have these?" So he just was repeating, like pleading with me, asking me that question over and over, "Can I have these?" Now, the second scene of this dream, I went upstairs and two of my family members were in my bedroom. It was an adult and a child. I was telling them what the cat had just said to me, and I was mostly talking to my adult family member. So I was telling them that the cat had said to me, "Can I have these? Can I have these?" My adult family member gave me a certain look as if what I was telling her could not be real because it was a cat. She gave me a skeptical look, and she had an expression of disbelief as if she was thinking, "A cat was talking to you? There's no way a cat said that to you. There's no way a cat was talking to you." So I never heard this family member speak a word in the dream, but God revealed to me exactly what her expressions were saying. So this family member's expressions were saying to me, this is in addition to what I already said. So her expressions were also saying, "You need to identify that cat. You need to go and find out who that cat is." In other words, I needed to find out from God who the cat in my dream represented, and I did. I did find out. All right, and as I said, the cat represents Tiger Woods. So that is the interpretation of that part that I just read. That is what happened in that scene, and that is also the interpretation of that particular part, telling you all what this family member's expressions were saying to me. So I'm not going to go over that part again as I get into the rest of the interpretation of this particular dream. Okay, so all right, now so now into the interpretation of this dream. The first scene, let's go back here. The cat is stretched out on the floor. One interpretation of that is that this cat touched a street treat. Okay? This cat touched or had possession of a street treat. The cat was already eating / consuming something that had him feeling high. A street treat was supplied for the cat, but he may have gotten into the bag and was consuming more than they wanted him to during that specific time. Okay? He may have gotten into a bag. Okay? There is, the cat was holding something in my dream, and I'm going to show you guys what that bag turned out to look like a little bit later. So, a street treat was supplied for this cat, but he may have gotten into a bag of something, and he was consuming more than they wanted him to consume during that specific time. Okay, this matches the part of my dream where I said that it seems as if the cat had gotten into something of mine, or I may have moved the cat away from something. All this occurred after I saw the cat stretched out on the floor. Okay, and then I called out and I said, "This cat is hungry." So I know that the cat in my dream was consuming something because the statement, "This cat is hungry," is a direct observation of the fact, being that he was, he had gotten into something, and then I saw him eating something that looked like candy. Okay. So he was hungry for whatever was making him feel good. Another interpretation, the cat was stretched out on the floor. This interpretation relates to how the cat was driving. So there's the bag right there. Okay, there's the bag. I'm behind with the picture. So there is the actual bag of something that is supposed to be food, or mango slices right there in the bag. That is the car that Tiger was driving that crashed. Okay. So let me finish with another interpretation of the cat being stretched out on the floor. This interpretation relates to how the cat was driving. The cat was wide open. This cat was stretched out. He was wide open on the road. Okay, so that's what that also means. So in my dream, first, the cat was stretched out. Second, I called out, "This cat is hungry." And so let's see what this cat was hungry for. So there you have it. That says dried, unsweetened mango slices. Okay? Mango slices. That's what the bag says. But what's really in that bag? So this is what the cat was eating. So I'm standing inside. Now I'm going to tell you all more about what that bag right there in a few minutes. Okay, I'm going to get to that. So I'm standing inside of a room. This is in my dream, and it appeared to be some type of enclosure. The room. Okay, I already said this, so this is the interpretation again. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. I already told you what the room reminded me of. It reminded me of the area, the waiting room that's designated for non-sick people or non-sick patients when you go to a doctor. So I already explained that. So, but I want to show you a picture of the front of a notepad that I was writing in when I was working on and recording this dream along with the interpretation that the Lord was speaking to me. So this is shocking because this is what I was taking notes in, and I didn't even notice what the front of the notepad said. My daughter pointed this out to me. I don't know if you guys can see this. It says doctor appointment Monday at 10 a.m. Okay, this is what I was recording the dream and the interpretation in that God was giving me concerning Tiger Wood and his accident and what happened to him, the days following his accident and the day of his accident. This is what I was writing in, and that says doctor appointment Monday 10 a.m. I was really in shock when my daughter pointed that out to me. Okay, so did Tiger have a doctor's appointment on Monday, which would have been February 22nd, the day before his accident? I don't know. I just wanted to show you all this, okay? So whether he did or not, that does not exclude the other individuals that had a role in this evil plot. Okay? So now, the next part of the interpretation. So let's see here. So I'm going to talk about the mango slices, which is what in the dream I thought the cat was eating something. I thought he was eating candy. So the cat is holding on to something and he's eating or consuming something that looks like candy. The cat is, in other words, that means that the cat is consuming something that could potentially kill him. This may be the reason that I saw the cat putting his head down repeatedly in my dream. Okay? I saw the cat repeatedly putting his head down in the dream. Again, the word candy can be, so he was putting his head down and lifting it back up, putting his head down and lifting it back up. Okay, so again, the word candy can be interpreted as can die. So the next part I'm going to share with you all, this is very important, so listen carefully. So the cat is pleading with me as I'm watching him eat this candy. That's what I thought it was in the dream. And he keeps saying to me, can I just have these? Can I have these? As I was writing that, so I'm writing this, and I heard the Lord say something. This is what I heard the Lord say as I'm writing that part. The Lord said, just like a child asking for candy. So I looked up candy ingredients. Then I looked for brands of sugar, and I saw Domino sugar. I saw Dixie Crystal. Remember the word crystal, okay? Crystal has something to do with what I'm going to show you guys that this cat was consuming, okay? Anyway, I looked up brands of sugar, Domino sugar, Dixie Crystal. Then my focus was, I began to look at corn syrup. And corn syrup kind of really stood out to me. And then I began to focus on the word serum. Okay, also the word corona began to be a word that I began to examine as I started out looking up brands of sugar. Okay. So then I began to, next I went to write down a pattern. So I noticed a pattern in my dream. First, the cat was stretched out. Then he was eating something. Okay. First, the cat was stretched out, and then he was eating something. And as soon as I wrote that down, the Lord very clearly said to me the word speed. The Lord said speed. So I went and looked up speed. I went to get information about a drug called speed. All right. And the first thing that popped up was what you're looking at right here when I went to Google. Now, if anyone watched the first video that I did about this, and you saw what I showed about the cat sitting in the slow cooker crock pot, broken pieces of Frank's, this will stand out to you. I was almost on the floor when I came across this. Speed, effects of speed And here is the name Frank written in all caps. Frank's is what was in the pot with the cat in the slow cooker. Broken pieces of Frank's. Do y'all understand what God is showing prophetically? Do you understand what God is speaking prophetically? Okay, so I was blown away when I got to this point right here. Tiger consumed a drug called speed. Here's some information about, it's called methamphetamine. Okay, it says that can cause lingering problems with short-term memory. Do you all remember that Tiger couldn't remember anything after the accident? But of course, you know, they can contribute that to, oh, he was in shock after the accident, right? Some people go in shock. So that is the excuse they were using. But here, God spoke the word speed to me. I went and looked it up. This pops up. So this is what I click on, okay? And I'm led to information about this methamphetamine. It is also a street drug, and it can cause lingering problems with short-term memory and motor coordination. All right? Okay, what else here? Okay, let's see what comes next. Now, methamphetamine can be smoked, snorted, injected, or taken by mouth. Remember I said the cat kept putting his head down in the crock pot, lifting his head up, putting his head down, lifting his head up again. And then in the second dream, the cat was eating and consuming something that I thought was candy. All right. It says on the street, it goes by several names: speed, meth, and chalk. And in its smoke form, ice, crystal. There's the word crystal. I wasn't sure if I had that here. Ice, crystal, and glass. So, as God was taking me through the interpretation of the dream with the word candy, that's when I said, well, let me look up the effects of sugar. And then I looked up different brand names of sugar, and I came across Dixie Crystal. Okay, but it's not the sugar. The sugar, as I'm looking at the information about sugar, and I'm still writing out as I'm hearing God, then God spoke the word speed to me. Okay. Okay, so anyway, I can't read all of this because then this is going to take too much time, but you all can go and research that. It tells you about how the drug causes profound, long-lasting changes in brain chemistry that can lead to problems with short-term memory. Okay, so I had already covered that. So anyway, so here we go. Here's this bag. But what's actually in that bag? And in the dream, the cat was holding something, eating out of something that I thought was candy. All right. So Tiger consumed a drug called speed. He was drugged. Tiger was set up just as he was set up in previous years. 2009, 2017, and again, most recent, February of 2021. Tiger was the goat that they made ready for the sacrifice. Speed may only be one of the drugs that they're doping him up with. Who knows what else, they have been giving him. Speed may only be one thing, okay? So I don't care what they say about the toxology report, and I stated this in the first video I did. I don't care what they say about sleeping pills. I don't care what reasons they give or I don't care what they try to blame it on. Tiger is being drugged on purpose, just like Whitney was, and they want him to overdose the same as they had planned for Whitney. And because he will not overdose on his own, they keep setting him up. They keep doping him up and putting him behind the wheel of an automobile so that he will drive high and crash and die. Willie! It didn't work. Willie, didn't you ever hear that tigers are the most majestic cats in the world? Will, didn't you ever hear that tigers are elusive? Now, I do not believe that, I don't know, but I'm not saying that Willie was the mastermind of this plot. He could have been. I happen to believe that someone else is the mastermind of this plot. But Willie was definitely in the top spot when it comes to planning this plot. And that is why in the first dream, Willie was sitting on top of the kitchen island or the kitchen cart. He was sitting on top of the island. Okay? He was definitely at the top of this plot. All right? So, now I'm going to talk about a little bit about dried, unsweetened mango slices. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. So they were organic. There's a lot that I can pull out of that interpretation of organic, but I don't think I'm going to go too much into that. But something else, again, as I said, something else was in that bag. First, the color orange. That's what this bag represents. Orange means rage, and it also means high alert. And I stated in part 1 of this video that rage went to see a tiger. Okay? It was rage that went to see a tiger. A rag went to see a tiger, and rage went to see a tiger. You have to look at the first video to understand what I was saying pertaining to a rag and rage. But that's what the color orange represents. Orange is the color that began to appear around me right before Kobe Bryant's passing. So I spoke about that in a previous video, one of the videos that I talked about Kobe Bryant's, what happened with him. I began to see the color orange manifest around me days before his demise. So dried unsweetened mango slices. First of all, this is the interpretation of this. Here is the DNA lettering is showing is sending information about dying. It means died. It means doctor lied. Remember, I discussed in the first video, doctor lied. Those words were a part of the dream God sent me. Also, Will lied. That could be someone named Will, or Willie lied, or Will lied. And in other words, people will lie. Okay. And when I'm talking about people lying, the doctor lied, someone named Will lied, this is pertaining to the circumstances of and surrounding this plot and everything that happened with Tiger. All right. Now, if you pay attention to the word unsweetened, that means, in other words, something unsweetened. This means bitter end, or bittersweet end. That's what unsweetened means. It means bitter end or bittersweet end. So the enemy's expected end for Tiger was a bitter ending. It was a bitter ending. Okay. Now, look at mango slices. This is telling me that a man got sliced. He was supposed to die, all right? He had a bitter end. So the enemy had it planned for a man to die, for him to be sliced up, and his expected end for this particular man, which was Tiger, was a bitter end. His death was to be a bitter end. Do y'all see the strategic planning of the enemy as I'm walking through the interpretation and telling you and showing you what the color orange signals? It means rage. It means high alert. Okay? The word organic, here's the word organic, and very clearly in the word organic, you can see the word organ. So I hope Tiger doesn't have some sort of damage or permanent damage done to his organs. Okay, so this was, look at this. The enemy expected Tiger to have a bitter end, unsweetened. So more interpretation. Now I'm going to go back to this cat is hungry. That's what I said in the second dream. And that also is interpreted as this cat is hung dry, or this cat is hung out to dry. Also means this cat is strung out. Okay, this cat is strung out. This is the interpretation of this cat is hungry. Hung dry, hung out to dry, and high and dry all means the same things. You can say this cat was left high and dry. That's part of the interpretation. This cat is hungry also is interpreted as this cat is angry. All right, he's angry. This cat was left high and dry twice. Twice. And I'm going to tell you how he was left high and dry twice. They left him high and dry the first time after they had supplied him with whatever he was high on. That's the first time they left him high and dry. Now, I'm talking about this last incident from February. I'm not talking about the times that they left him high and dry in the past, the previous years that he was set up. So I'm talking right now about this past incident in February. So he was left high and dry when he was, after they had supplied him with whatever he was high on. And that is during this course of time of February, okay, 2021. So they drained him. They drained his brain. They drained him of his personal information and everything they needed and able to access and to have control of certain assets of his once he met his demise. In order for them to gain access and control of certain assets once he had met the expected end that was planned for him. So this does not necessarily mean that the process of draining Tiger's brain for his personal information began at the resort a day or two before his crash. All right. In other words, I'm saying that, and I'm looking at my notes here because I don't want to miss anything. So I'm not saying that the draining of his brain for personal information and his assets and to be able to get their hands on his stuff. I'm not saying all of that, just started with this last incident. They had been planning this for a long time. That is why in the first dream, the cat was in a slow cooker, supposedly cooking along with Frank's in a slow cooker. The first message I did explains this in detail. They had been trying to ruin him and destroy his life for years now. But as I said in the first dream, this is a cat with 9, 11 lives. This is a cat that is hard to kill. Okay? So this has been going on for a while. They've been draining his brain so that they could drain his bank. The devil got his followers thinking that he is doing this to people because he is a modern day Robin Hood. Okay, let me explain that. As God was giving me the interpretation, downloading this into my spirit, God spoke Robin Hood to me. Not the guy you're looking at, not Tiger. He's not Robin Hood. I'm saying the people that plan, the mastermind of this plot. Okay, there's a mastermind to all of these things you're seeing happening with some of these high profile celebrities who are extremely wealthy. So I'm saying that the devil, the mastermind of this, he has his followers thinking that he's doing this to people because he is a modern day Robin Hood. All right. He's a modern day Robin Hood. He's telling them that this is for the good and the building up of the satanic kingdom. He's telling them that he's killing and taking from those who are rich and not a part of them. These people are not a part of them. These are the people that won't bow. So the enemy is telling his followers that he's killing them off and he's taking from the rich. He's taking from the ones that are not bowing and that are not really a part of him. And all that he takes is for them as a community because they are all as one world order. The enemy is separating the goat and the sheep in his kingdom. He tries to imitate all that God does in his kingdom. So just like there's a separating of the goat and sheep in the kingdom of God, there's also a separating of the goat and the sheep in the enemy's satanic kingdom as well. So this cat named Tiger, they left him high and dry because they wiped him out. Because this was supposed to be the end of him. Here is the second way in which they left this cat high and dry. Someone or certain members of the goat crew, they saw the cat crash. They saw it. And they left him high and dry. I believe that certain key individuals who set up this plot was in the area or the vicinity of Tiger's crash. They may have been in another vehicle ahead of Tiger, as I mentioned in the previous video. Tiger may have been following them. They may have been acting as an escort for him for where he was going. They may have been driving fast and Tiger was trying to drive fast. Tiger may have also been trying to drive fast in order to keep up with them because they were all running late for Tiger's appointment. This could have been a crew who was leading the way, part of the crew who was supposed to be on this assignment wherever Tiger was going. Okay. So, and I think he was headed to filming a golfing documentary the day of the crash. All right. So if members of the GOAT crew were not ahead of him, leading the way, like driving ahead of him, and they were driving fast to try to get him to drive fast so that he would crash. If they weren't doing that, then they were somewhere in that vicinity lying in wait. They knew that Tiger was driving high. They knew that he was running late. So they were somewhere lying in wait, waiting for him to veer off the slippery slope and fatally crash. There's always someone lying ahead in wait to make sure that the trap snaps when trying to catch a tiger. The cat was hungry. The cat was stretched out driving, speeding on a dangerous road. The cat was high and drugged. The cat was also angry. He was most likely agitated because he was in a hurry. And as I was writing this, I heard the words, hurry up, like somebody was saying, hurry up. They saw the crash. They sent a tag. And they left Tiger high and dry. The actual car crash is recorded to have happened at 7:12 a.m. That's California time. Okay. For the tiger is recorded. Yeah, that would have been. No, the tag. Okay, I'm sorry. Now that's the time it was recorded of that the crash happened 7:12 a.m. Now there was a tag that was sent to the tiger that's recorded at 7:48 a.m., which is about 33 minutes after Tiger's crash. Tiger was tagged. All right, after about 33 minutes after the crash. And this tag was also released before the police released information about the incident to the media. Did y'all know that researchers capture endangered species? And researchers and people that work with wildlife, they capture endangered species in the wild and then they tag them. Did y'all know that? So Tiger was tracked and tagged. This brings me to my last interpretation of this cat is hungry. So I think I'm missing something here. This right here is supposed to be during the time that the police release a statement to the media. Now this says 2:28 p.m. So if that is accurate, this is supposed to be the time that the actual crash was released by the police to the media. Okay? I think I'm missing to show something here. All right, so I forgot to show you guys this. Tag a tiger. All right, this is what I was saying about when researchers capture tigers and animals that are endangered, and they tag them. They tag them. This says, look at this. A tag is actually a physical permit that you carry with you while hunting that you must attach to an animal immediately after you kill it. Immediately after you kill it. A tag was sent out about 33 minutes after Tiger's crash. And at that point, no one knew whether he was dead or alive. They didn't know whether he was dead or alive, but the enemy thought that that tiger was gone. They thought that he was done. They thought he was cooked. So a tag was released. Did y'all see that? That's what I forgot. So this is about GPS tracking and the technology of when they track these animals, transmitter, in GPS tracking, a radio receiver, not a transmitter, is placed on the animal. Okay, so I put that there because, of course, his car has a tracking device. So remember I said that Tiger was tracked and tagged. Tracked and tagged. Now, what's this here? Okay. So I think that is about something else right there. Huh. Okay, here's another tweet that was sent out. Now this one was sent out by this guy. This is the Ace of Spade right here. And I mentioned that in the previous video. So he released this post right here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go on. So I'm going to discuss the last interpretation of this cat is hungry. It means this cat is hunt. This cat is hunt. This cat is, which means he's dead. Tag tiger. I can hear someone saying, this cat is hunt. What do you do next? You tag tiger. This cat is captured. Tag tiger. They saw the crash. They saw him run off the road. The GOAT crew saw the crash, and the final step to complete the plot was to tag tiger. To tag tiger. 'Cause this cat was hunt. Caught. Dead. Captured. Bow, meow. Okay, so I think I'm behind on my pictures. Here's the picture from the previous video. This is what the sort of what the Franks looked like that were in the pot cooking with the cat. Okay, so let's talk about, I'm going to get to that. Let's talk about strange, I'm going to mention something to y'all about some strange visits that occur and right before some of these popular rich celebrities meet their demise. And there are conversations about the children of those who are about to be the people who are about to meet their demise. There's usually a conversation about the children. Now, I've heard this twice. I've heard about that. I've heard about that twice, okay? Kobe Bryant had a strange visit right before his passing. I don't know if you all remember. One of the main points of discussion was about his daughter, Gianna. That stood out. They discussed his daughter, Gianna. So here we have this guy, Dwayne Wade, as he was being interviewed, said that he had just been talking to Tiger about his dad and his kids. They discussed Tiger's kids. This detail was shared in an interview after news broke about Tiger's accident. So what is the meaning of all of this? This is about giving your kids to the false god of Molech. Okay? This is about flipping your kids. This is about flipping them, raising them in the opposite gender of which they were born. And I know this because the Spirit of the Lord revealed this to me about the agenda, okay? The agenda that's behind these discussions about the children. Right before someone meets their demise, the enemy wanted, wow, I don't even know if I want to say this, but I'm all the way in now. The Lord had revealed to me that the enemy wanted Gianna to be raised as a boy. This is one of the plans of the enemy for children. Raise them as the opposite gender of what they were born. Okay? Now, we know that Gianna perished in that plane or helicopter along with her dad. I don't know the details of what all transpired in these conversations when they meet these people and they're discussing their children. But when God began to send me dreams and visions and give me interpretations and speak to me about some of these things that are going on among these people and in the satanic kingdom, that is part of the enemy's agenda for the children, to flip them, to get the parents to agree to raise these children as the opposite gender in which they were born. All right. So I wanted to mention that next, crafty speech. Let's see here. Crafty speech. Let me mention that. Leading up to the days of Tiger's accident and the days following, crafty speech was in full use by all of those who were involved in this plot. Every last one of them. Crafty speech. The words of their statements, posts, and interviews were all carefully crafted. They were not talking about what it appeared that they were talking about. I hear what you're saying behind what you're actually saying. Okay? They were not talking about what it appeared they were talking about. The PGA Tour began in California on February 18th through the 21st. I want to show y'all something, and this is in closing. That was the Genesis Invitational. Then they had a break. Okay, they had a break before time to pick it back up on the 25th of February in Puerto Rico. All right, did y'all understand? I believe the PGA Tour started February 18th through 21st. Then they had a break. It was on this break that Tiger Woods had his almost fatal accident on the morning of February 23rd, 2021. Remember the Franks in the pot in the first dream, the first video I did? And they were the Franks were broken up in the pot with the cat. So his accident happened while the PGA, the Genesis Invitational, the PGA Tour was on a break. Look at that. So the California catnap plot turned deadly. It turned bloody. The PGA Tour turned red. Okay, so also I want to mention I believe Tiger probably I think 2019, Tiger had been trying to make a comeback, or he was attempting to make a comeback, just like Michael Jackson was with his last performance in This Is It. So yeah, if I'm correct, because I'm not a golf fan. I don't like golf. I'm not even a Tiger Woods fan. All right. These are two dreams that I'm sharing with you all that the Lord sent me. The 22nd and the 23rd of February, 2021. Okay. So I'm not telling you this. I'm not taking this. These are not my personal dreams. This is what the Lord sent to me. These are the interpretations the Lord gave to me. All right. So yeah, he was trying to make a comeback. So if I'm correct, he probably might have played in a tournament maybe in 2019. Okay. So let's see here. On February 21st of 2021, Tiger was being interviewed for the PGA. Yeah, that's where I'm going at. So on the February 21st, he was being interviewed for the PGA round 4. round 4. I'm getting ready to discuss a series of numbers 444. This is a pattern of numbers in which myself and a few other family members, these numbers have been just popping up everywhere around me and some of my family members for the last probably 2.5 years. This is only one pattern of numbers that just appear all the time. There are other patterns, and I've mentioned a few in other videos that I've done. This is sort of like signals. This is signaling something, this particular pattern of numbers. And there are people who don't believe this is something God is allowing people to see. I forgot, what is that thing called that they have another name for people that I can't think of it. Starts with a G-O. I forgot the name of that other thing people do. I can't think of it. Anyway, whatever the other thing is that people do with numbers, I don't have anything to do with that. This is actually a pattern of numbers that I see along with some other patterns. I see a lot of triple numbers, 333 and 222 and 111. Every now and then 555. Every now and then 666, but not as much. The ones, triple ones, triple twos, triple threes, triple fours are the numbers that appear a lot, and it's usually signaling something that the enemy is planning. Okay, so the interviewer asked Tiger the question. Where's that picture? Okay, and he says, "So Tiger, 7 weeks from today, final round of the Masters. You're going to be there?" Tiger responded, "God, I hope so." My understanding is that Tiger was supposed to be hosting that event, okay, that this interviewer had just questioned him about. So that's my understanding of that. I didn't know whether he was supposed to be playing in that tournament or what. So I think he was supposed to be hosting the event. So this PGA round 4 interview would have been, or was supposed to have been, Tiger's last interview before he met his demise on February 23rd, which was Willie Smith Day. Remember? Willie Smith Day. February 23rd. I told you all that about that in the beginning of this video. So that's 1-4. All right, that's 1-4. Chadwick Boseman reportedly met his demise because of stage 4 colon cancer. There's the picture again about Willie Smith Day. So I'm behind with my photos. Okay, so with Tiger Woods, he was interviewed for PGA round 4 tour. All right, that's 1-4, which was that interview. Then his accident happened on the 23rd, which was Willie Smith Day. Okay, now Chadwick Boseman again met his demise because of stage 4 colon cancer. That's another 4. All right, so now we're at 4-4. The actor Dustin Diamond just passed away on February 1st of 2021, reportedly from stage 4 lung cancer. So that's another 4. This gives the numbers 444. Now, all of these are strange deaths. I don't have time right now to get into some things that God has revealed to me about that pattern of people right there the pattern as a whole. I never did share what God shared with me about Chadwick Boseman. When the actor Dustin Diamond, now he's known as Screech. Also, many of you may be familiar with the show that he played on, Save the Bell or something from a long time ago. It's like out of the blue, he has stage 4 lung cancer, and by the time we hear about it, the man is dead. Okay? So every one of their deaths had something to do with the number 4. And the word just came to me, I think gematria. Okay, this is what I want to say. That's the word I was trying to think of a few minutes ago. I don't have anything to do with gematria. I don't know what gematria is, other than people mentioning it to me and someone telling me about a guy that does videos about gematria. I don't follow information, revelation, or anything. God has never dealt with me about anything to do with gematria. Okay? This is how God teaches me and gives me dream interpretation. Dream interpretation does not only involve words and symbols, but part of the symbols and part of dream interpretation is also numbers. We live in a universe, we live in a world that is everything is that we do involves numbers and words and letters. Okay, so I don't bother me about gematria. Okay, I don't know anything about gematria. So now, so we're at 444, and let me see if I can remember. I'm taking too long with the video now. When the actor Dustin Diamond passed away, around that time, family members, we had been discussing, wow, this is, and he passed away February 1st. 2021. It was like, okay, this is the time when these people start doing their weird sacrifices. And so we're like wondering what's going to happen and who's going to meet their demise or whatever. So we heard about Dustin Diamond. During that time, right after this man passed, I was thinking about it, and the Lord said to me, he said that their sacrifices has to be a person who is well liked, or a person who's well loved. That's what the Spirit of the Lord spoke to me. When they do a sacrifice, it has to be a person who is well liked, or a person who's well loved. Okay? So, okay, anyway, moving on. 444. So I don't know why this pattern of numbers is important in the satanic system, but it is. And apparently, it's some sort of a signal that they use, okay? It is some sort of signal that the enemy uses. So, this concludes Captured, Bow, Meow. Remember, the enemy is telling people to bow, but the remnant will not bow to bow. This is Dale C. Washington of Greater Works, Prophetic Ministry, and Raw. And you've been listening to Captured, Bow, Meow. Thanks for listening.